Hello guys, welcome to another Friday night stream. Do you know what? It's really fast. I can't believe it's a week already, but it is. It's another week already, and it's Friday night again. So here we go again, as they say. So 87 straight in, and I've got a moderator working with me tonight. I've got Franco. I don't know if you know Franco. He does a bit of moderating for Phil the pub. It was quite bad last week, wasn't it? So I thought he did offer. He lives close to me, so he's in there. So if anybody comes in tonight, hopefully he'll jump on them. Let's, as always, let's start off by saying hi to everybody. 103 in the chat now. Okay, Crypto Chris, I think you were first in tonight. Well done for that. Somebody wants me to give him a shout out. Let me just, I might give him another one later. His name's Pierre Glover. Hi to you. I know you've asked me a couple of times, so there you go. If you're not in yet, well, you won't know if you're not in yet. Right, Jam Jar Jimmy. Good evening, everyone. Happy Fridays. Let's explore Bangkok. Morning, afternoon, evening all. Joe Bowser. I'm the first here again. What have I won? I think you were beaten by Crypto Chris, to be honest with you. I might be wrong there. Danish Bacon, hi, good to see you. And again tonight, let's get you up on there. There we are. Evening, Peter. Let's not give the trolls any airtime tonight. We won't give them any airtime, but I've got a few funny stories to tell you. Things about it's been a bad week for the trolls. I mean, Ed Sweeney had 3 on Monday, and you know what happened? Was it Monday? Did he stream? You know what happened with me? That post I had to send out. I'll just tell you really quick while we're waiting for people to come in, then I'll say hello to a few more people. So if you don't know, if you haven't read the post that I sent out, somebody set up a fake YouTube channel. They do it for all the YouTubers, but somebody set up a fake YouTube channel and they put it as Thailand bound. And they went on Brian Flowers' channel last week, and Brian said, "Look, I know you're not really Peter because you don't have his logo." So the guy went off and got my logo, but this time he went on to Ed Sweeney's channel. And he was writing things like, "Don't eat any more pork pies, you're fat enough," and all these derogatory comments. And somebody pointed it out to me, and I actually wrote to Ed. I said, "Look, Ed, honestly, mate, it's not me. I don't do it." And I was a bit worried, so I sent out a post. I said, "Look, guys, if you see any of these derogatory comments anywhere, it's not me." But I didn't have to do it because lots of people wrote to me and said, "Look, Peter, we know it's not you. You don't talk to people like that." So it was actually fine in the end. But yeah, what a week it's been, though. What a week. Dave Andrew, hi, nice to see you. And again, Shin Rana, how did the interview go on Sunday? Yeah, that went really well, Shin. So if you don't know about that, I interviewed that video is coming out on Sunday. I interviewed this lady from mid America somewhere. What it is, she went to Thailand when she was 29. She didn't have any kids. She just got married to an American guy. He was about 30, and his company sent him out to Thailand. And it just so happened where he was based, they sent them to Pattaya. I mean, of all the places in the world. So what happened? I won't tell you what happened because it'll spoil the story. I'm gonna put that. I've already uploaded it. It's ready to go. So Sunday morning UK time, I'm gonna release that to everybody. I think it's up for the members at the moment. The members can watch it, the gold and silver members, but everybody else will see it Sunday. And I just interviewed this lady, very, very nice lady, down to earth. And we just talked about what happened from when she got to Pattaya, the signals that she noticed, signs she noticed, and how it developed into what it did without giving it away. And I spoke to her for about half an hour, and she was completely open about it. Very nice. And you might find that interesting. That's something a little bit different. So if you've just joined us tonight, guys, 221 in already. Nice to see you. Michael Whitaker, how are you doing? Trolls, it's because you're getting more popular. Unfortunately, I've lost you there, Michael. I'll probably find you further down and read it again because it's moving really fast now. I will pick up on it again though, Michael. Right, Dutch Farang, hi Peter and all. Let's explore Bangkok. Hi Dutch. Mark P, I'm booked for mid-April and praying day 5 gets dropped. That's the thing, isn't it, Mark? That's the killer, day 5. And that they had them. If you don't know, they had in Thailand. They had a meeting today, and people were hoping that they'd relax the rules, and nothing's changed. It's still 11 o'clock. Bars closing. You still have to do your 5-day hotel booking. There was some good news I watched on a Thai lady's. I should really know this, but you know that thing with the 30 out. If you haven't done your Thailand pass within 30 hours, it gets cancelled. And the hotels and the government were getting together once a day. I think it's every hour now. They said, but really, it's not really important that I don't know because nothing's really changed. It's still the same as it was last week. No, I don't think so, Kim. You've written there, Kim, alcohol ban is looming. I don't think so. I don't think they'll go that far at the moment. Okay, hi to Carl Whelan. Thanks for that. Dave Andrew, Mark P. I think. Okay, you'll be talking to someone else. We'll talk about a little bit about the Philippines because I got some information about. I know this is a Thailand-based channel, but I did look at the Philippines today, and that's quite good news over there. Jam Jar Johnny, I'm traveling on Thursday, jumping in with both my feet. You should be okay going. What you got to worry about, Jam Jar Johnny, is the when you're there, because let's put the numbers up while I'm talking to you. You can see what's going on in the. This is from the Bangkok Post today. So I'd actually stopped putting these numbers up. I'd actually, because we kind of got the feeling like it's kind of settling down, and it slowly there it will go away. And I wanted to get away from this, but apparently the numbers are growing again, and so I'll just leave that there for a while. Right, cats and dogs. Hi Peter, regarding the PCR test that you got, just in case they ask you for it at the airport on your return trip to the UK, would you recommend me to get it, or was it an unnecessary expense? No, not at all. Because the thing is, they change the rules so quickly that if they change it and you're getting ready to get on the plane, the reason I got it done was because Thai Airways at the time I say, because they keep changing, at the time they were saying to board the aircraft so Boris was saying you didn't need it to come into the country, but you needed it to board the aircraft. So whatever they say, for the sake of I think this is a hospital I went to, I don't know, you can see it on has it got an address? It's called the well, let me hold that envelope up for you. If you've got a pen handy there, you can write that down. Now that's about a 15-minute taxi drive away from Sukhumvit, and they charge 2,500 baht for the PCR test. So 2,500 is about £50, £60, right? And they're really good, because what happens is you don't need any appointment, anything like that. I'll just hold that there for a minute. I should have took a picture. It would have been clearer, but there you go. It's Iyavate. Now I went to Bumrungrad first to get a quote on the PCR test, but I don't want to talk about this all night, but I'll just get it out of the way really quickly. So before I came back, I went to Bumrungrad and they quoted me 5,400. That's a lot of money. That's over £100. I went to this place on recommendation from Michael from AVG Sports. His friend went there. Really good. 15 minutes away from Sukhumvit. The taxi drivers know where it is. I jumped on the back of a bike, give the guy 100 baht. But what happens when you drive into this hospital, there's a reception there. Reception there, you just don't go into the reception, just go straight, and you'll see a marquee set up, and all the nurses and everything are there. You don't need an appointment. You sit down, they register you. You need your passport. They register you. They take all your details. They take you 2,500 baht. You get the old thing up your nose, and within 24 hours. So the next day, and I've done it twice with this hospital now, so I know they're really reliable. The next day, they'll send you an email or a line message or whatever you want. They'll send it to you, and they'll basically say if you're clear or you're infected. And I've had both, as you know. So that hospital, if you want to rewind this later and get the address, they are really, really good, and they're less than half the price of Bumrungrad. Okay, Shane O Traveller. It's warm summer's morning here in Melbourne, but it's still not Thailand yet. I hear you on that one, Shane. Let's just get rid of this one, and we'll put the exchange rates up. We'll do these again later on, but I like to put these up. Okay, Seamus Doherty, hi, how you doing? Nice seeing the stream again. Mike Hunt, how you doing? Dutch Frank, you're saying somebody else there. Right, Jam Jar Joss, Pesky, maybe I'll see you out there. Yeah, sorry, I went off track there, Johnny. What I was saying to you, so if you get your PCR test before you go out, then you'll be fine. You'll be fine, because everybody on the plane's fine. I know you get the odd person does get positive, but hopefully you'll be fine. I wouldn't worry about going out there, but once you're there, that's when the dangerous time is. So I'd be very careful between day 1 and day 5. Try, you're going to go out to bars and things, but try to, not go into those bars where they're absolutely rammed shoulder to shoulder and nobody's wearing masks. I went to Hooters on Soi 4. That wasn't too crowded, and that was quite okay. Because on day 5, if you get it, you're in a world of pain, aren't you? So you should be okay. Right, Dave Andrew. Going back to the UK now, no PCR test. I think you have to be fully vaccinated and do a passenger locator form. Yeah, I did the passenger locator form. I sent off for a kit before I went. So about £50. I got the kit sitting at home. You get a number that you've got to put into the website for the passenger locator form. You don't fill it until the day before you leave. And what happens, you just tell them, what's your name, what's your passport number, what countries you've been to, when you're returning to the UK, which airport, and then they want this number. So you put that in, and you also have to. I scanned the barcodes on my phone from the NHS because they want to see they want a proof of the the two vaccines. So that's what I got, the NHS app, and then I got the barcode up on that, and I just put that on the computer, the camera, the laptop camera, scanned it, it accepted it, and then it wanted the number that I got from the kit that I took with me, and that was all fine. And then I got back, I had to do the old up the nose thing, and then send it off, and it come back 2 days later, you're fine. But to be honest with you, if it hadn't have come back fine, I wouldn't have cared, because I'm at home. It's different when you're at home to sitting in a hotel room. Okay, let's try and move away from the PCRs and the all this sort of thing for a while. We might come back later. Okay, so let's get rid of them exchange rates. Over 300 in now, so good to see everyone in. Let's say hi to a few more. Delboy K, yeah, hi, how are you? Seamus Doherty, what kind of videos will you do when you move to Thailand? Similar to what I did when I was there. I did the Bridge on the River Kwai, I did the trip to Hua Hin, did the trip to Charm, and I did a little bit on the bars and Sukhumvit and stuff, but just because I hadn't been back for 2 years. But that kind of pissed me off a little bit. I had I don't want to get into the troll thing too much, but I'm quite friends with Bangkok Pat. You know, he does the videos, the kind of documentary style videos, and they're really, really good, and I've always recommended. Well, I'm friends with him, and I met up with him when I was in Bangkok. So he interviewed me. We just sat down and talked about the old days, and I interviewed him. You've seen the interview I put up on the channel, but he had to block the comments on his stream tonight, because you know, like if you upload a video, you can comment on it, right? I mean, I just got people just laid into me, like really hammered me on his comments, and because we're friends, he just thought, right, sod it, I'm just gonna, you know, not delete the comments, but he just stopped them. And I mean, they were saying things like, one guy said, well, you know, soon as you cleared your first night's, your first night's lockdown, you went straight to the bars in Nana. And I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I? You know, and somebody else wrote, oh, Pat, why would you associate yourself with a guy like him? All he does is videos about bars and the nightlife scene. And or one guy really surprised me, because he comes on here and he's actually left me super chats, and he left a comment and it said, oh, he should change the name of his channel to Thailand Mongering, because that's all he talks about. And I'm like, oh, he's obviously missed my Bridge on the River Kwai, Grafton Underwood Airfield, and the Hua Hin Charm and all the rest of it. But I mean, I got a little bit pissed off, but then I spoke to Pat, and you can't win. You know, I could be the Pope on here talking about the next resurrection of Jesus Christ, and I'd still get, somebody would still have a go at me. So let's not talk about them. It just pissed me off a bit, you know. And even Pat gets trolled. You know, people, his documentaries, he'll say about an area and he'll give dates and places. And people write to him and say, oh, you're totally wrong. That's wrong. The date's wrong. You named the wrong street. So you can't win. You can't win. Right. Canary spreads his wings. Won't bother with all the nonsense in Thailand. Philippines looks more enticing. Yeah, I know what you're saying there. Let me just talk about that for a second. Right. So the Philippines now, I just did a very small amount of research on this today, just because I wanted to compare it to Thailand, what's going on, because, they had that meeting today. I was hoping that they would get rid of that 5-day, the 5-day hotel stay. I was hoping that would go, but it's still there. I was hoping they would take the time of the bars from 9 p.m. back to 11 o'clock, like when I arrived there. They haven't. It's still 9 o'clock. But in the Philippines, their tourist numbers went down 82%, believe it or not, from 2019 to 2020. So, the Philippines and lots of Thailand's neighbors are also, they know they're never going to get it out of the, lock it out of the country. So then everyone's learning to live with it. It's just Thailand that's been, really strict about it. So, for instance, if you go to the Philippines now, all they want from you is proof of the vaccination. You've had your 2 jabs. That's easy. Everybody can get that. So they want proof of vaccination. They want a negative PCR test that's been taken within 48 hours when you arrive in the Philippines. So that's simple enough, isn't it? So it's basically 48 hours before departure, and they want insurance to a maximum of $35,000 US, and that's it. No test on arrival, no hotel quarantine, nothing. Once you get into the Philippines, that's it. It doesn't matter what happens. You're on holiday. So, and some of Thailand's neighbors are kind of behaving in a similar way. They're doing similar things. But as I say, Thailand, they're just digging their heels in. It's so frustrating. I know I've been there and I had a good time in that, but I know a lot of you guys, you just, you're gagging to get out there, aren't you? And it's just, they're putting barriers up. And I hit it at the right time, didn't I? I feel sorry for the guys who want to go and they can't go. Okay. You, me, and Oscar. Hey, Peter. Good evening. Have you managed to speak to your tenant about selling your house? If you, yeah, I have given notice. What if you don't know what that's about? I'm moving out to I just got to tell you, one of the other troll messages on Pat's channel today. He says, Peter puts out this persona of being married. I don't believe it. He's single and he's a monger. How can he go to? I just thought that was so funny. No, I've given the guy notice, and yeah, if you don't know, like I told everyone a couple of weeks ago, I'm actually going to be moving out to Thailand full time. That's a done and dusted deal. I've got a lot of things to tie up from here. I've got a contract with a local council that I've got to. I don't have to, but I don't want to let them down, so I'll do that till July. So I'm hoping around the summertime, sometime like that. Smiley McGee, hopefully all these restrictions will be over by June. I was in Thailand in November, same as me, but I won't go back until they ditch all restrictions. The only thing that bothers me, like when I jumped through all the hoops, like Ed, he's done it, hasn't he? He's out there for 3 months. Yeah, I probably would have done it again if I had a month off and I thought, right, I can go out for a month. I've just got to do the Thailand pass and go through all the crap again. I'll do it, because once you've done it, you're out there, aren't you? You've got the sun on your back. You're in Thailand. But do you know the only thing that really bothers me now, why I wouldn't do it, is this. Firstly, it's a 5 day. You've got to book the 5th day in the hotel. That sucks big time, right? And the other thing is this relationship between the hotel having to give your booking to the government within 30 hours, or you've lost all your money. So you could apply for. When I got my Thailand pass, once I got it and I seen it on my computer, I'm like, yeah, I've got my Thailand pass. That's it. Nothing's going to stop me unless I get a negative result before I go. But I got a positive, and that was it. I was on my way. But now you could go through all that. You get a negative result, and then what happens? The hotel, some little hotel, forgets to confirm your booking with whoever it is they've got to confirm it with, and you've lost a lot, haven't you? So it's just too risky. I don't want to be Mr. Doom and Gloom, but I'm just giving you my opinion on what I would do. You might think completely different. Okay. All fun, isn't it? Taxi Talau. Anyone watch Ben on Integrity Legal Thai channel? Give some great COVID updates and call outs. Yeah, there's a lot of good news channels. I listen to one called the Expat Report. You never see his face, but I find his information he uploads every morning. I find his information quite accurate. I listen to the Tiger as well. I listen to their, when I'm out with the dog in the morning, I put the headphones in. It's all information, is it? All information gathering. Hi, Jim Little. How are you? Dubstar 71, is it? Medical consultant on Soy 49/9. Charge 1,500 baht for RT-PCR test. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there's lots of them. There's lots of the hospitals and clinics, but I did hear a couple of horror stories. Whether they were true or it was just guys fantasizing, I don't know. But one guy said that they didn't call him to give him his results, and he had to run down there and they couldn't find them and all this. But that could be BS, But I really recommend this one. I know it's $2.5. I've got no affiliate to it. I'm not getting any backhanders, but guys, this one, £50 guaranteed, right? They'll phone you up, guaranteed. I don't know the one you're talking about, Dubstar. They're probably fine, but I just don't know them, so I can't recommend them. Okay, right. Shane O'Trevor, pound to baht wins, but how pound does the average man earn in the UK? Yeah, it's not Shane. It's not cheap in Bangkok, mate. It's really expensive. I mean, very expensive. Give you an example. I like the draft beer in Hooters. I don't know what it is. When I go anywhere else, if I go to Stumble or another bar, they all got draft. A lot of them now, they've all got draft beer, draft Heineken, draft Singer, all the rest of it. And I don't know what it is. Whenever I have a draft beer anywhere, apart from the Tilak bar, because it's good there, the Tilak bar, they do a good draft Heineken, it's cold. But around Nana, whenever I have a draft beer, it doesn't taste kind of as good as the draft beer that I have in Hooters. Now, again, I don't have any affiliation with Hooters. I'm not getting any backhanders, but it's expensive. It's very expensive in Hooters, but the beer is good. And sometimes what I do is I'll come back from somewhere and I don't really want to go out and hang around bars with girls. And I just want to relax, have a nice, real nice cold beer in a big glass, and I just want to relax and go on my phone, look at comments, things like that. And sometimes I like to do that, just chill out, as they say. And they're charging for a draft beer, I think it's about a pint, it's 200 baht. Well, that's quite expensive. That's £5. So I went in there when they were closing at 11. One night I went in there at about 9:10, drank the first one. I thought, that's gone down well. I'll have another one. That went down well. And I had a third one. So my bill was 600 baht. Well, 600 baht, what's that? It's got to be about £15, doesn't it? So that's a lot for 3 beers, but it was very nice. Right, Mike Hunt. I flew back with Qatar. They told all passengers to keep masks on when not eating or drinking. Some Western woman on the seat behind me was coughing and spluttering all the way to Doha Nomar. Yeah, it's like I said a few weeks ago. If you're over 50 and you're entitled to a flu jab, I know it's just the flu, but get it. I got mine. The reason being because you might not have COVID, you might have the flu, and if you're the one on the plane coughing and sneezing and spluttering, you're going to feel very uncomfortable because the whole plane's going to turn around and look at you. So yeah, I would feel the same. Right, Javier, how are you doing? Haven't said hello to you tonight. Cambodia seems like a great option right now. Perhaps Vietnam as well. I'm just feeling a bit frustrated about Thailand. As I say, Javier, around Thailand, all their neighbours, they're starting to loosen the reins as it is now because they realise, you know, the whole point of all these really strict rules in the early days, especially with the Omicron variant, they wanted to keep it out of the country. Same with Southern Ireland. They had the same thing. That, you know, you had to quarantine it. They wanted to keep it out of the country, but then they all realized, look, it's here. It's not as bad as the Delta variant. You know, it's not. It's not that bad. It's already in the country, so they're. You know, we've just got to live with it now. And you know, they're telling everybody wear masks, get injections, and everything. So they're easing off. A lot of countries are easing off now. They realise, don't they? But Thailand have just seemed to have this blinkered kind of attitude, like, you know, masks, bars close at 9. PCR before you. I mean, it's just not. All right, let's change the subject. Richard, until Thailand stop the stupid restrictions, people won't go there in large numbers. I see they are talking about stopping the 300 baht entry fee. They won't stop people. It's a constant testing. Richard, okay, so let's talk about that very, very briefly. So I was going to talk about it a little bit later on. This, if you haven't read about it, this tax, this 300 baht tourist tax. They want to introduce this 300 baht tourist tax on every passenger, but they've decided to delay it for 3 months because they don't know how to collect it. That's what they're saying. Now, how they've previously done it is through the airlines. So the airlines have collected this money and passed it on to the government. But I think what they're talking about really is not so much the airlines, but the people who come across on land borders, you know, how they're going to collect this 300. Now, personally, I couldn't give a damn about 300 baht. It's £7.50, $10 US, $9 US. And if it's going to worry you, you know, you've got to really think to yourself, is it the right, you know, should you be going to Thailand if $9 is so crucial to your budget? But I might be wrong. I'll be interested to know if anybody else can tell me this. But I seem to remember, now it might be somewhere else, but I'm sure it was Thailand. Years and years ago, you had to pay 500 baht tax to leave the airport. So you did all your checking and everything. And before you could go through immigration, there were a couple of machines there, and you put a 500 baht note into them or a debit card, and you got a little white piece of paper. And as you went through the immigration, you know, there's a girl, before you get to the immigration, there's always one person or two girls standing there, and they want to see your boarding pass and your passport just to make sure that you really have the right to go into the actual immigration. And they used to collect it there, so they'd want to see that. And if you didn't have that, it means you hadn't paid your tax. They wouldn't let you through. But I'm pretty sure on memory, I'm pretty sure that's Thailand. And as far as what was the other thing you said there, Richard? Until Thailand stops you restrictions, I'll talk about stuff. Yeah, okay. So let's just look at the numbers for a little bit, okay? Because I was surprised actually, because I kind of assumed it as well. Yeah, I'm just. I got Franco moderating tonight, and I see he's just jumped on someone there. I don't know what the message was, but I'm sure I'm sure if he thinks it has to be taken down, it has to be taken down. And I forgot what I was talking about there, so hopefully that will come back. All right, Richard. I hope. Oh no, numbers, right? So I assumed the same thing. I thought, well, nobody's going to go there with this 5-day, this hotel booking after 5 days. So I thought, well, I'll look up the numbers just out of interest. Who's actually booking now? And this might surprise you now. So this is what I found out today when I looked into it. So for the first 10 days of February, there was a total of 55,823 travellers entering Thailand. 23,036 travellers entered on the Test and Go program. Another 27,667 through the Sandbox scheme, and 5,120 arrived to do the alternative quarantine program at a qualified hotel. 1,832 of those arrivals have tested positive. That's about 3.3% of the total number of arrivals. and that was actually reported by the Tiger. That I got that story from them. So it's quite surprising. There is quite a lot of people coming in, but I'm sure if they didn't have all these rules and restrictions, then obviously a lot more people would come in. How long have we been going now? Half an hour, and we've got just over 450 in, 459. Did anybody watch the stream that NDTV put out? Was it yesterday or the day before? Ed Sweeney was in there, and a couple of dollies on each side. I thought it was quite. The thing is, when you watch YouTubers, if you just watch them like for me, for instance, I'm in the UK now, aren't I? I'm not walking about. I'm just sat in front of a camera. You see me from here, and that's all you see, and that's all I've ever seen of. Have I seen it? No, I've seen him in other videos, but it was just strange because I'm so used to seeing him like this that he was sat down. There's a couple of girls there, and it kind of it didn't gel. I couldn't kind of get my mind around it, but he looked happy anyway. So, Andy Davey, all right, Peter, how you settling back in Blighty? It's cold, and it's cold. It's miserable. Can't wait to get back. Right, Mike, this might surprise you. I get asked this quite a lot. Mike Hunt, what equipment are you using for your video, sound, and visual quality are great? Right, believe it or not, Mike, I'm using every video I've ever made in here, in this studio, right, as I call it, in this studio, out and about in Thailand, Hua Hin, Chatham, everything, interviews, everything, have all been done on a Samsung S10 Plus phone, which is here. Right, there it is, Old Faithful. Or my, for live streams, I use this camera I'm looking into, which cost me £15 off Amazon. Okay, that's all I use. I've got a light that when I tell the story, sometimes I used to have a green, because you've got a green screen. If you take the picture away, you end up with a green screen. I'll just show you. If I, let me just go in here. Right, so if I delete this picture now, you'll see what I'm really sitting against. So let's get rid of the picture. So that's actually what my background is. I can jazz it up a little bit with something else like that. Okay. So in answer to your question, Mike, not a lot really. I mean, I just use I'm planning to buy the latest Samsung phone because the camera's supposed to be even better than this, and that's it. So if you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel, you don't need any special equipment. I know guys wear radio mics and they've got gimbals that cost 100 and something pounds, and they've got all this gear, haven't they? They got GoPros. I'm 62 in April. This does me seem to get by on it. Yeah, Dutch Farang, I agree with you. Who cares about 300 baht if you're going on holiday to Thailand? I mean, 300 baht. Right, what's that now? Joe Bowser, let's support Peter with the like button. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. Right. Words 73. The rocket festivals are worth going to. North Thailand, really enjoying going. I've never been to a rocket festival. I don't know anything about them. I spoke with fireworks, isn't it? I guess. I lived in Khon Kaen for 2 years, and I should have seen. One of them. I'm sure. Right. Eugene Vincent, Casey, laugh out loud. Yeah, especially considering he had a camera in one hand and was able to continue filming. I missed that comment, Eugene. What was that? Obviously, yeah. Okay. Right, Steve. Can't please them all, Peter. Yeah, there's an old saying, isn't it? Old English saying, if you're from the UK, it's like you can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time. Okay, so tonight I'm going to introduce the competition again. You know the competition that I did every week, the Ladyboy competition, but I've made it really easy for you tonight because I used to put out 15 pictures and have maybe 4 or 5 mixed in with the girls, and people were like, oh, this is too complicated. It goes too fast. I can't remember the numbers. So I scrapped that. Then I did 3 cards. So, I put one at a time up. But tonight I've done something a little bit different. I've gone back to the old format of 15 pictures with music, but they're flight stewardess. They're Asian flight stewardess, trolley dollies. And there's one non-female in the 15 pictures. It should be quite easy tonight, guys. So I'm going to flash 15 pictures. And then when I get the beers at 10 o'clock, I'll do that one while I'm pouring a beer. So that should be a lot of fun. Do you know, I found a really interesting picture as well. Let me just get this for you. You know, and you must know this. When you come out of Soi 4, you've got the police box there, haven't you? That nice police box. And then you've got the zebra crossing that we've all crossed over. Well, have a look at the police box in the 70s. Look at this. I mean, how basic is that? I mean, can you imagine, how hot Thailand is? It gets to about 38 degrees, 39 degrees. Can you imagine being in that metal tin box like that? And there's the zebra crossing in front of the police box. You can see the Soy 4 sign there. Soy 3 opposite. You can see obviously no Sky Train. There's no pylons there or anything. But yeah, I just thought you might find that. I thought you might find that a little bit interesting. Okay, what else are we talking about? Let's have a look here. Look at my notes. Did you hear about that Chonburi nurse? She just quite a quirky story. It's very short. I'll read it out to you. Chonburi nurse steals debit card from dying patient and withdraws his money. I don't think he was a foreigner. I think he was a Thai. But just Chonburi police officers arrested a woman working as a nurse at Banglamung Hospital for allegedly stealing 4,500 baht from a dying patient. Police say the nurse confessed that she stole a debit card while the patient was unconscious inside an emergency room on February 1 and withdrew money from the ATM the next day. That's a weird one, isn't it? Really weird one. Right. Let's try and get some people in who I haven't said hello to, get their comments up. Right. David Halpin. Hi, Peter. Can't wait to get back to Pattaya. Thinking of retiring there. How long do you think I should stay there to make sure it's for me? It's in my mind for a long time. Right, so you said I can't wait to get back to Pattaya. Okay, so you're not a first-time traveller there. I'd give yourself, before you say, right, I'm moving full-time, this is a place for me, I'd give it 6 months, honestly. I know that seems like a long time. It'll pass really fast. You might want to live in Jumpty, and it's a bit more quieter over there. It's a lot more nicer, but it's within striking distance, as they say, of the action. I don't think I could live in Pattaya again. It's a bit too lively for me these days. Right, you, me, and Oscar. Hey, Peter, can you speak more about the 2-week millionaires, how they act while they're there? Is it a bit cringeworthy? No, not really. I mean, we're all 2-week millionaires at the day. What it relates to, you, me, and Oscar, what it relates to, I mean, you have some guys in particular, what the 2-week millionaire refers to, it just means a guy who goes on holiday for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And, you know, the reason they say 2-week millionaires, because the guy could be a postman or a taxi driver or a van driver. And you know they're on a normal salary. Let me just say hi to Dave Andrew. I'll put that up on screen so I don't forget what I'm talking about. Hang on, Christ, a lot of comments I've missed here. Right, Dave Andrew, £20 super sticker. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that, and you know where that's going. But I've got something funny to show you on that. But let me go back to your question about the two-week millionaires there. So yeah, you can have a van driver, a postman, just a normal guy who's on a normal salary, and when he's in the UK, he's got to pay his bills like everybody else. So, you know, he's got his rent, his mortgage, his electric, council tax, and all the rest of it. So at the end of all that, he might not have too much left out of his salary. The reason they say 2-week millionaires, because these guys, he could be a postman on £300 a week. So he can save up 50 years. He's single. He saves up, I don't know, £50 a week for a year. That's not that much, is it? A couple of £100 a month, whatever it is. So when they go out to Thailand, they've got £2,000 or £3,000. So they splash the cash about, they ring the bell, they buy all the ladies' drinks. It's not really cringe or anything like that. It's just 2-week millionaires, because when they've saved that money and go out, I've done it myself when I was younger. You know, I've gone out there and bought those baskets of ping pong balls that you throw, and all the girls dive at them. And if they get the balls, they get 20 baht each. And you know, I've been a bit flash in the past when I was younger, but that's all it means, right? How El Terrifico, what software do you use for the green screen? You can use any video editing software. I was using a free one, which is pretty good for a free one, but I can't remember I'm paying for one now. I'll have to look it up and get the one. But the free one I was using was called Open Shop Video Editor. It's very good for a free one. You can download it for free. There's no watermarks in it. It doesn't give you a time limit or a number of videos that you can make. What it is, it's what they call open source. Open source. It's for anybody to use. It's to share. And it's okay, but I found the reason I've moved away from it is because I found like a year ago it was pretty good, but the updates, the recent ones that they've done, they tended to crash quite a lot. So when I was making videos, every time I did a cut, a splice, or something in the video, I'd have to keep saving it there and then. And I'm just using a paid for one, but I will get the name for you. Right, Wes, how are you? Morning, Peter, or evening for you. For me, it's evening, Wes, 9:30 in the evening. 8:30 a.m. here. All goer for flight from Melbourne to Phuket tomorrow. Stay overnight, then Bangkok. Lay low till day 5. Yeah. That I was saying to somebody else, Wes, but you're with your wife, aren't you, or partner rather? So I don't think you're going to be going into any crowded bars in the first 5 days. Yeah, when? So you're going when? Hit all go for a flight from Melbourne, Phuket tomorrow. Oh, you're going tomorrow. Oh, great. I'm actually quite envious of you now because I'm stuck here. But thanks for the super chat anyway. Right. Have I missed out on everyone? Kiev bound. Eddie looked quite feeble to me. Needs to watch his health. He probably just had one too many to drink. The thing is, in Thailand, you don't forget. I mean, in the UK, you've got a routine, haven't you? Because there's not much to do. For me, I've got my routine is the same every day. It's totally boring. I get up, I go out for an hour and do this little job. I come home, I work on the PC till kind of 1:30. I go in and make some lunch. My wife's at work all day, so I've got the house to myself. And then 2 o'clock, I'll watch telly for an hour, and then I'll go out and do this job again in the afternoon for an hour. Come back on here again. And then it's, walk the dog, listen to some YouTube videos, have a shower, watch Netflix, go to bed and do the same tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Yeah. So the point is of what I was saying there from your comment, when you go out to Thailand, suddenly you're doing a lot more. Your body's got you taking in a lot more alcohol. You're walking around, you're in the heat. So it's very easy to get exhausted. Patio burnout, you must have heard of that, right? You know what patio burnout is. If you don't know, let me know and I'll tell you. Jackson J, major aspects preventing more inbound traffic, testing positive after arriving and required to jump through hospital and hotel requirements can be very expensive. Oh, I did find something out. Do you remember when I got it, nobody came for me? I tried to do the responsible thing. I self-isolated for a week and I was thinking, why didn't they come for me? I mean, all these stories about people being dragged off to hospital. I watched a video last week that somebody sent me where they did. They got to this guy, he's younger than me, he's about 40, but they got to his hotel and he filmed them. They were knocking the door and they came, and when he opened the door, there were two guys in white space suits and plastic. They looked like they're just about to get in a space rocket the way they were dressed. But the cops, the boys in brown were there as well. So there was at least one policeman, maybe another one too, I don't know. So there were the police turned up, two of these guys in a white suit, the manager of the hotel who spoke a little bit of English. And he opens the door to him. He's like, they said, you got to come with us. You got to go to hospital. He's like, I don't want to go to hospital. I'm staying here. And they're like, no, you got to come to hospital. The police are there, right? And he's like, I don't want to go to hospital. I'm not going to hospital. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to hospital. And they said, you are going to hospital. They basically forced him. And their English wasn't brilliant. So then they got the reception of the hotel to talk to him on the phone, on speakerphone. And the woman on reception says, just say his name's Mr. Mark. I can't remember what his name was. But the receptionist, she said, oh, no, Mr. Mark, you've only paid for one more night. You cannot stay here. And he was like, his money's not the issue. I can pay to stay here, but I don't want to go hospital. Anyway, to cut a long story short, the next segment of his video, that was cut there. The next segment, he was going into this room and it was dreadful. I mean, there was a whole bunch of people in there. And yeah, it wasn't pretty. Okay, Dave Andrew, I won't put that up there because I'll get a big head, but thanks for that. I appreciate that comment. Yeah, so I was trying to find out, well, why didn't they come for me? Because I know they did take some people, but apparently I don't know if I've got this right, but if I don't know the answer to something, I have to go and get the answer. I keep looking. And the closest I could get to it was they're not really interested unless you've got symptoms. So if you take the test and you appear normal and you like this, like I was, I wasn't like coughing and spluttering and, on my last legs, as it were. They didn't seem to be too interested in them sort of people. The sort of people they want are the people who've got symptoms. That's all I can discover. It might not be that, but that's the closest I could find out. Okay. Canary spreads his wings again. Started YouTube channel, but very few views. So you started your own. You started your own YouTube channel. Well, I'll just tell you, if you started a YouTube channel, if you've just started it to earn money, forget it. You won't go anywhere. If the only way it will work is if you really enjoy doing it. I did it for 18 months. I didn't make a penny. I was working lots of hours. I gave up all my weekends because I like making videos about Thailand. And then eventually I started making a little bit of money. And I'm not getting rich on here. You don't make big money on here. You make some money, which is great for your hard work. But if you're in it for the long haul and you enjoy making videos, then the viewers will come. And if you've got if people like you, they will subscribe to your channel. You'll get trolls. You'll get people who will tell you to pack it in. You'll get people who dishearten you. Don't be disheartened. Just carry on with it. The only thing I can tell you, if you have started a YouTube channel from brand new, the first 100 subscribers is the hardest to get. Once you got over 100 subscribers, people will follow, because when you've only got 10 subscribers, even if somebody likes your video, they'll come on and think, well, who is he? He's only got 10 subscribers. I'm not subscribing. So stick with it if you, and it will come. Okay, so let's get down to some of the more recent comments here. Okay, Luke, what you say? If I miss any of these comments, guys, and it's, you know, you really want me to read them out, just send them a second time, and I might pick them up, because there's nearly 500 people in the stream now, and what happens? They just like you can ask Franco, you know, like sometimes you, especially if I talk about a subject, I just miss them. 40 minutes now, nearly 500 in, so welcome to everyone. Right, Shane, what did you say? I didn't even read your comment out, Luke. I save all year for my 2 weeks in the sun, so I'm going to go mad. Yeah, don't blame you. A lot of people do it. And what I've noticed, one thing I have noticed that's very different to kind of 28, 30 years ago is I don't want to sound like you know, when I was a lad, it was all more fun. I don't want to be one of them. But before the internet, don't forget, in the 1990s, early 1990s, the internet was in its infancy. Is that the right word? Infancy? Can't get the word out. It was all new, and it wasn't like it is now. If you wanted to learn about Southeast Asia, there was a book, I believe it's still around, called The Lonely Planet, and you'd buy one of these books and they'd tell you where to go, what not to do. They give you tips. And of course, the internet, as it developed, it's so easy now, isn't it? You can go, like, if I wanted to put up a garden fence and I wasn't sure how to do it, I went onto Google, how do you erect a garden fence? And within 10 minutes, I was erecting a garden fence, and I did it. So it's all the information's out there. And what I've noticed now is years and years and years ago, you had businessmen, you had people who worked in hotels, or, you know, they were expats that their jobs sent them to Bangkok. There wasn't a lot of young guys, but because of the internet now, these guys go out to pubs, you know, they're 18 to 20, 22, and they're like, well, this is boring, isn't it? You can't blame them. So what they do, they go out to Thailand on a cheap holiday, stop off in the Middle East somewhere, and then they, you know, they think, wow, this is great. Patty is great. Let's not go out in England anymore. We'll save all our money. We'll go to the gym. We'll get ourselves fit, you know, so we look good when we get out there. And you get gangs of young guys going out to Pattaya now. Yeah, I mean, I understand it. Right, Gregory Nash, thanks, Greg. How can I find a girl who speaks English to marry? I'm looking for a good-looking, smart girl with lots of charisma. Wow, that's a big one. There isn't an easy answer to that one, Greg. This is why so many guys are tempted. They fall for the bar girls, because what happens, they haven't been to Thailand before. They'll go into a bar, beer bar. It doesn't have to be Nana Plaza, but just beer bars everywhere, right? And they get talking to a girl, and they're very charming. They're very nice, these girls. Nothing against them, but they are working. But because they speak English and they can have a conversation with them, they kind of, it's very attractive to kind of say to that girl, maybe, do you want to come and have a meal? Come out the bar, come and have a meal with me. And you'll find out they're very, very good company. But you don't want to go down that route, because, you know, don't look at some of the stories on this channel. I read stories out every Saturday. Go and look at some of them. They're all true stories that are sent in. And if they don't convince you not to, you know, do that, then, but no, in answer to your question, there isn't really an answer. You know, all you can do is, it's like your own country. You know, I would say, if you're going to spend any time in Thailand, learn Thai. That's the best way. If you learn Thai, if you're only going on holiday, on vacation, and don't assume if you go to an agency, you know, one of these, what do they call them? You know, when you go to an agency and they fix up a date for you, and they, you know, you go out on a date with a girl, because a lot of working girls, it's just another avenue for them to make money, and hey, you might even fall in love with them, right, and take them away. So and one other thing that's really important, Greg, it's a real misconception to think that every single Thai girl wants to be married by a foreigner and taken out of the country. It's totally not. Most Thai girls, they don't want to leave Thailand and go to Europe or America. They love their country. They love Thailand. They don't particularly want to leave. So, but yeah, I can't really answer it, Dave. Greg, the only thing, to put a bit of a positive spin on it, you could go into a shopping mall somewhere like Terminal 21, or, you know, one of the big malls, and have a walk around and just, you know, pretend you're shopping and get talking to as many girls as you can. And if one speaks a little bit of English, maybe try and develop that a little bit. It's a little, I'm not the right person to ask, because I'm married, you know that, don't you? But I hope there's a bit of information there for you. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Andrew Rogers explained there. Look, 2-week millionaires, just guys on their annual 2-week holiday, could have their holiday pay in from Work UK. do not necessarily have to have saved. Yeah, it's not a derogatory comment. You know, when you talk about, but translated, it basically means a guy who works in his own country. He doesn't have a family. He saves up all year and he goes to Thailand to let his hair down for anywhere from 2 weeks to a month. And the reason they say 2-week millionaires is because when they're out there, they tend to be they're not watching the pennies. You know, they don't look at the price on the menu too much because they've saved up and they just want to have a good time. It's different now in Bangkok, but when I used to always go to Thailand, I never looked at prices on a menu. If I wanted to eat a steak or I wanted to eat some nice Thai buffet, something, I didn't go in and check the menu out. If I look at the menu, you know, they put the menu at the door, I'd flick through that just to see if the food looked tasty or not, but not for the prices. I just, you know, if I wanted to eat it, I'd go in and eat it. But I can tell you now, Bangkok is really expensive, really, really expensive. If you haven't been there for 2 years, be prepared to be shocked. We're talking 380 baht for a full English breakfast on Soi 4. You can go to Terminal 21 and get something for 100 baht, but it's not going to be a full English breakfast. I think I mentioned to you last week, the Nana Hotel do a good buffet breakfast, 250 baht, which is about, what's that? It's about £10. But the good thing about that is if you go for a set breakfast, you say, right, I'll have the full English, you'll get 1 cup of coffee, 1 small glass of orange juice, and they deliver the food on 1 plate. And once that's gone, that's it. With a buffet, of course, you can drink half a dozen glasses of orange juice. You can fill the coffee up 3 times. You know, you can go back and pile lots of bacon on, which I did. But that's quite a good deal. And that buffet is open till 11 o'clock in the morning in the Nana Hotel. For me, it was a little bit greasy. So if you do have the breakfast in the Nana Hotel, just get a load of napkins, and when you put it on your plate, just dab the the food before you eat it, because it is quite greasy. But even though saying that, you don't eat it every day, do you? Okay, over 500 in now, so that's good. Smiley McGee, you were very lucky, Peter, not being dragged out to the Thai hospital. I was very lucky. I got accused by some people, mainly the trolls again. They were like, "Oh, you did a runner." I didn't do a runner at all. You know, I mean, I begged them to come and get me, didn't I? Nobody wanted me, and so I did the next best thing. I didn't even get in a taxi. I walked around to another hotel, and I just didn't come out of the room for a week. And I was taking these. Simon brought these for me. This is old news to anybody who was in here last week, but you know, these are 250 baht. I had a pile of them like that. Every morning I took one, and the day it was clear, that was it. I was away. And you can get as many of them as you want from any pharmacy or anywhere in Thailand. Okay, Richard again. Richard, have you heard anything about the 50,000 baht 5-year retirement visa at all? No, you're talking about the, is it called the elite visa? They haven't made up their minds, Richard, about any of that yet. That's all, you know, it's all talk at the moment. There's nothing been decided yet. Right, Mickman, God bless. Okay. I should actually read these before I put them up. Right, Wes. No lay law at sister-in-laws, travelling to wife's hometown Phetchabun, then travel around northeast Thailand, then to Phuket for 5 nights on the 8th of March, home on the 13th, still looking at visa extension. Okay, well, good luck, Wes. I hope you don't, you and your missus don't, I hope you stay negative. I'll say it like that. That's a better way to say it. And I'm sure when you land, once you've cleared through all the bullshit, you're going to, you'll have the sun. Well, you have the sun on your back in Australia, don't you? It's different for us from the UK. I mean, I woke up this morning tapping the ice off the car. Let me just say hi to somebody who's given me a super chat there. Harold, you're a generous man. You did this last week. I do remember, and I do thank you for it. Good street, Peter. Have a few drinks off me and Bob. Cheers. Right, Harold, now that you've said about have a few drinks on us, I want to, let me go and get the beers because I want to show you something funny. I went to Aldi yesterday. You know, Ed's always, he swears by Aldi alcohol, doesn't he? You know, Lidl and Aldi, they're kind of like budget supermarkets if you're not from the UK. You know, and Ed will say, oh, I've got these 10 cans of lager for 22 pence. You know, I'm taking the mickey a little bit, but I went to, my wife didn't feel like shopping. I said, I'll go. I've got nothing to do this afternoon. I went shopping, and it's to do with the Kronenberg. So let me get the real Kronenbergs, and I'll show you what I accidentally bought. It's quite funny, actually. Let me just get the card up here. And if you've got drinks in your fridge, probably now would be a good time to go and get them. All right. I always get the feeling when I do that, I'm going to come back and it's going to, like there's 500 people in this stream now. And I've always got this horror thought in my head that I'll go and get the beers and I'll come back and it'll say, you've got 3 people in the stream. Right. I'm going to show you something really funny now. So this really was a genuine mistake. So that, you know, I've got the pint cans. I'm a bit greedy today. So, you know, that's what I drink. It's 5%. It's Kronenberg, 1664. And a lot of your super chats go towards that. Right. So I went to Aldi yesterday. And when I was there, I thought, all right, I'll get some beers for the not for the stream. Last night I had beers last night as well, and I just grabbed. Oh, there's a Kronenberg. I grabbed them in Aldi, put them in the fridge, and then yesterday I thought, oh, I'll have a beer. Cracked open a beer, didn't look at anything, drank it. I thought, God, that tastes bloody awful. What is that? And I looked at it, right. So there's a Kronenberg, and this is what I bought. Now, what was it? Isn't that a rip-off? The real one, 1664, 1897. Now, I didn't go in there and think, oh, that's cheap. I'll have that. I'll save £1 on the 4. I just seen the colours. You know, I wasn't really looking. I looked at the colour. That would confuse you, wouldn't it, if you didn't, you know, I didn't really look at it properly. But it tastes like crap. I wouldn't recommend buying that, even if it was £1 for 4. I'll probably have, like, Aldi suing me now tomorrow. Anyway, guys, cheers. Okay, we'll do the competition soon. We haven't done it for, it must be 2 months now, guys. And then you'll have to let me know if you enjoy this one this week, because I don't want to flog it to death. If it goes down well, I'll do it again. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to flog it to death. What else are we talking about here? Oh, here's a good one. So, you know, last year, it's Valentine's night on Monday, isn't it? Valentine's Day on Monday. So last year, the Ministry of Health in Thailand, they said, look, anybody making love on last year, they should wear their masks just to you know, try and stop infections and things. So this is what they've come out with this year. So the this is for Valentine's Day. So the Department of Health in Thailand have advised anyone planning to make love on Valentine's evening that before they actually do the deed, they should first take a rapid antigen test kit, you know, just to make sure, because that will save them from infecting each other. So yeah, you have to make your own minds up about that. Right, okay, right. Roger, yes, Peter, I agree. Better before the internet. I first went to Thailand in '99. I remember when the first bars being built in. Actually, that was the gist of Bangkok Pat when he interviewed me. That was the gist of the interview, because he was talking about guys coming out to Thailand, and he was asking me what was it like 30 years ago, and I told him and that. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, I just got slaughtered. Guys came in and just like really slated me. And one guy said, I wouldn't trust him. He comes across as a car salesman. Just lots of stupid comments, you know. But I think I know why it is, because I've always recommended Bangkok Pat's channel. And his videos are really sensible. They're really good. They're like documentaries. So, you know, I'm not a monger myself, but it is a big part of the channel because guys send in these stories. So I can't avoid it, and I don't mind talking about it. It's part of Thailand, isn't it? But I guess with Pat's channel, because he's doing these kind of documentary style videos, he'll attract a different kind of a crowd, a kind of more straight-laced crowd. So of course, when he recommends me or he talks to me, they're like, Jesus, what are you doing talking to that guy? You know, what can you do? Right. Okay, I got it. I don't think I'll have any rude comments come up tonight, because I got Franco moderating in the back there. He'll tell me tomorrow if there was any rude ones that come up. Right, Jam Jar Johnny again. Mike Hunt, try the breakfast at Simple Simon Soy 5 jumped in. Yeah, but it's a different story down there in Pattaya, isn't it? Because, you know, I can think of 100 places you can buy a really good full English breakfast or American breakfast, whatever you want to call it, for 100 baht. Well, the selling point is 99 baht, but you won't get one in Bangkok for 99 baht. Not a full English breakfast, not around the tourist areas, I can tell you now. Not, you might get one where you get, you know, Foodland, I think it was, used to do one for 99 baht, and what you got was 2 fried eggs, like it's a hot dog sausage, but it was about that size, and 2 slices of cucumber. Why the cucumber, I don't know. And then you got a piece of toast and black coffee that was so thick you could actually slice it with a knife. Yeah, you might get a breakfast like that, but not a proper nice breakfast, you know, not for 90 baht, not around Sukhumvit anymore. All right, I don't know what you mean there. Herman Schmidt. I hate YouTube anymore. Okay. Right. Mark Hanley. Now, mate. Paul Hoy. Oh, we haven't got, what's his name in tonight, have we? Well, I can't remember his name. He always cracks a funny jokes. Paul Hoskins. Where is he tonight? Okay. Talk about football there. Yeah, Luke. The oldie Cronenberg copy. Got very drunk on that last summer, but it doesn't taste very nice, so does it? Okay. Right. Well, we're an hour in. We're just under an hour in, so I think we'll do this competition now, and then we'll come back to your comments in a second. Oh, that is good. Right. 475 in now. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. So let's do this competition now, and it's just for fun, guys. There's no prizes as always. So this is about a minute and a half long. I might run it twice. See what you think of this. If you like it, I'll do another one next week. You'll have to let me know if it's getting boring. Let me know. So, like I said at the beginning, this is a ladyboy competition. The idea of this is there's one non-female picture here, right? So I'm going to show you 15 pictures of female Asian flight stewardesses, trolley dollies, and one of them is a ladyboy, and all I want to know is what number that one person, what number is that ladyboy. So I'll run it now, and then we'll give it a minute and we'll see. Okay, that's the last one. The music ran out. Okay, right. I'm really surprised at that because I thought I thought a lot more people would get that. There is quite a few people got the right answer, but a lot of people said number 6. It isn't number 6. Let me just go down to the recent comments so I can see what you guys are saying. Right. Yeah, a lot of people saying number 6. Number 3, Luke, no. Darren, number 2, no. Steve, number 4, no. Steve, 6, no. So all those people who said 6, Sis, Kiev, Herman, Shane Field, no. James, Kevin, no. It wasn't number 6. Some of you got it right. I won't tell you who's got it right because you know who it is. I'll give you another crack at this one. Matthew, a lot of people say number 6. It isn't number 6. It isn't number 9. It isn't number 8, so I'm giving it away nearly now, aren't I? Yeah, a lot of you got it as well. Isn't number 7, Javier? Okay, I'm going to give you one more crack. Damon, do you know what? I thought a lot of people would fall for that one, and only you fell for it. You're the only one to... no, I won't put it up because somebody else might get it. No, it wasn't 15, Damon. Del Boy, no, it wasn't 10. Lex 500, no. I'm going to run it one more time. Mike Hunt, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Yeah, you. and don't forget, if the picture's got 3, for instance, 3 members of 3 trolley dollies in it, it's not one lady. You can pick that number picture. You don't have to say which one of the 3 or which one of the 2 it is. Just name the number of the picture, the card, as it were. Right. Jam Jar Johnny, you're in trouble then. You said you're sticking with number 4, so you're in trouble there. Shall I run this again? Adam's Apple 10. You're going to be surprised, guys. You're going to be surprised. Right, I've given you loads of hints. I've given you lots and lots of hints, and you know who it's not. So it's only a minute long. Let's run it one more time. You can change your mind if you want to. This will be your final answer, though. Let's have another quick read through these and see. Right, is it Sean Sedgmund? Is it? Yeah, 15 is kind of like the Joker in the pack. I did that in purpose because I thought that might confuse everybody, but it isn't 15. Joe, it isn't 3. It isn't 4. Let me put you out your misery. Let's just see if anybody's got it right. Hang on, let's go back. A lot of people get it wrong. I'm trying to find people who got it right. Hang on, Damon, it wasn't number 2, mate. I'm worried about you. Right, we have a winner. Right, Stephen J.L. Austin, you got it right. Let me go right back to the ones from the first time round. Okay. Yeah, Charles Sanders, you got it right. Joe Bowser, you got it right. David Walters, you got it right. Hang on, let's go right back up here. Yeah, from the first time. There's more people seem to get it right on the first run. I'm not going to tell you who it is for a second. I just want to see who's got it right. Right, yeah, John Rammer, you got it right. Nicole Heemshek, is it? You got it right. Michael George, you got it right. Mark Thomas got it right. Shane O'Traveller got it right. Well done there. Wes Appleyard, yeah, Seasoned Traveller, you got it right. Matt Machai, is it? You got it right. Baz Wookie, you got it. Joe, we said you got it. Damien, you failed miserably on that one tonight. Max Veit, yeah, you got it right. Who else? Was 73, kind of. Who else? Yeah, okay, we're done then. Harold Bishop, yeah, you got it right. Well done, mate. Mark Thomas, yeah. You're taking a guess now, Harold. Okay, I'll put you out your misery in a moment. Just if I've missed you and you got it right, not to worry. It's just for fun. There's a lot of answers here tonight. Right, okay, I think that's it. I think that's everybody. Kevin Lampard, you got it right as well. Well done to you. You'll have to let me know if you want me to do this next week or not. It doesn't take long. Oh, yeah, there's a lot here. MD, you got it right. Macho, we said MD, yeah. Kiev, yeah. Right, okay, I'll put you out your misery. I'll put the picture up. The one lady boy, this is the one. If you guessed number 9, you are right. I thought that was quite easy because the features. I just honestly thought it'd be easy, that one tonight, guys, but obviously not. I might let me know if you want me to do it next week or not, because I noticed I was watching the numbers, and when I do that ladyboy competition, a lot of people like it, but I noticed a lot of people leave the stream as well. People come back in, so I don't know if they've gone to use the lavatory or whatever, but let me know. Let's put these up again for anybody who's just come into the stream. Okay. Yeah. Dave says, damn, take the lady back to the room, then you find out. Now, it's when you're looking at pictures, Dave, it's different, isn't it? When you're there with somebody in the flesh, as it were, there's lots of clues. Like I said to you, lots of Paul. Let me just stick up Paul's. Well, I would. I told you a long time ago. One of the big questions used to be, do you think there's many guys take lady boys by accident? And the answer is no. They might want you to think it's an accident. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that's quite a good little comment, actually, Kiev. I didn't know lady boys were allowed to work on the airlines. This particular airline, I forget the name of them now. Let me see, because there's quite a few pictures here. I think there are... it's there, but I only got half the name. Let me just see if I can get the name of it. Okay, so this is it's a Thai airline, but they're not... I don't think they're international, so they just fly within the country. And one of their selling points is they have whole crews that are ladyboys. The whole crew is a ladyboy, and they've just done it as a kind of a gimmick, but it seems to work for them. Right, a Nomad Overseas. Peter, you said earlier it wasn't number 9, Laugh Out 9. I said number 9. It must be the Cronenberg already then, a Nomad Overseas, but it was definitely number 9. But I might do it again next week. Let's see. Apologies for that. Okay. Where are we? Paddy Island. Seriously, look at the heads on number 6. Number 6. Let me have a look on number 6. Yeah, I see what you mean. And they've all got very short hair as well, haven't they? I actually thought that about the one on the third. I haven't loaded that picture, so I can't show everybody. But yeah, okay. And Andy says reception will always let you know. I'm not sure about that, Andy, because they don't want anybody to lose face. And if you didn't know and you came back with a ladyboy, I mean, I don't think they'd let you know, because it would embarrass the ladyboy, wouldn't it? I think they just let you get on with it, and right. Right. The roads less traveled, Southeast Asia. At my hotel that I have stayed at 4 years, first time after COVID, there are at least 110 rooms here, 7 floors, and I'm the only customer in the hotel. Very sad. Do you know what? You're not the first person to come on here and say that. I was talking to Michael last week in Pattaya, and he was saying it was really quiet when he came here. This is months ago. And then when I got there was quite a few tourists there because people started going to Thailand. And he said now he was staying in a 4-star hotel in Pattaya, and he said it's nearly empty. So yeah, the hotels are kind of gone back to how they were a few months ago. I think I hit it at the right time. You know, when I got there, the bars were open till 11 p.m. Then they reduced to 9 p.m. And some people came on the stream and said, "Oh, I'd hate that. I couldn't go out if the bars closed at 11." But you know what? Even 9 o'clock wasn't bad, because what happens? I used to have dinner, I'd go back to the room, chill out a bit, have a wash, and then watch a bit of TV, and then I'd go out maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and I'd be out till 2, 3 in the morning. But when you can't do that, when you can only stay out till 9 o'clock in the 9 o'clock in the evening, what you tend to do is you tend to go out about 5:30. And by the time it gets to 9 o'clock, you're ready to go back to your room. You know, I used to go to 7-Eleven, get a couple of beers or a little bit of food, go back, watch Netflix. It was fine. And the other good thing about it was because you weren't staying out all night, you woke up at a reasonable time in the morning so you could go out and do things. I found it all right. Might be my age or getting old, aren't I? Okay, Dave O'Champ says, it's a good laugh, Peter, do it again. Okay, so we'll do it next week. But I honestly thought, Dave O, that was going to be an easy one this week. So I'll try and make it more easy for next week. Right, Canary spreads his wings. Had 3 lady boys. One I didn't know was one. All right. When did you find out? No, don't answer that one. Yeah, Joy says, I think you should stop saying it's easy. Maybe it's easy for me because I prepared the competition. But honestly, this particular one, I thought it was. Right, I'll leave that one up there, Ralph. Yeah, before you make your mind up there, what you got to do is have a look at their ID card with the 5 o'clock shadow and the short hair. You know, then make your mind up. Paul Hoskin, I love Goblin Teasmade. Right, if you're not from the UK, the Goblin Teasmade was a famous brand of Teasmade in the 70s. You know, these things you put next to your bed and your alarm goes off and you have a cup of tea already. But it's actually got a secondary meaning. If you're from the UK, you'll know what that means. But only Paul Hoskin can come out with something like that. Right, MD, what's my prize for picking number 9? Okay, your prize is... we're going to get number 9 lined up for you on the next flight over. I'm only joking. So just for fun, MD. Right. Lucifer, for you, is it right time for a 10-day vaccination? Is it the right time for a 10-day? Well, I don't know what you mean by 10-day vaccination, because the 10 days only relates to if you get found positive on a check, then you have to do a 10-day mandatory quarantine. As far as vaccinations go, 2 before you go and a PCR test before you get on the flight, if that makes sense. Right, what's this? Where's Ed Sweeney did he? I didn't watch that one. What, he actually he met up with a lady boy, did he? I have watched some of Ed's streams, but sometimes they're quite long. I don't always have time to watch all of them, so I kind of flip through them like I did NTV's the other day. Damien, I missed that one. Where are you? I've got 2 TVs and they come up at different times. Damien, Thailand needs to sort out the rules. It's such a madness. Yeah. Well, of course, Damien, long-time subscriber to the channel and a friend now. He's actually got a girlfriend in Thailand that he hasn't seen for 2 years, and I suppose there's a lot of guys in the same boat. You know, he just wants to get back, but he's one of those guys. He doesn't want to jump through the hoops, and I don't blame him really. Okay. Where are we? Oh, I didn't know that about Ed Sweeney. I have to go back and watch his. Well, I'm not condemning him. I mean, up to him, isn't it? If you get to the room and you get a surprise, get the duct tape out. Yeah. Okay. So Gary said the same thing. Ladyboy challenge every week, please, Peter. All right. It's just like I say, when I put the lady, it's not for everyone. And when I put the Ladyboy competition on, I notice the numbers go down a little bit. But then people come back in, so it's not too bad. Right. Delboy K. They are easy to spot unless you have had a lot of Kronenberg or any other sort of alcohol, actually. I'll put that up for you, Mark. Okay, I think I did hear about this. Stephen 4X. If you watch Trevor's last stream, he was quite accident prone 3 times. I know he was once, he admitted once, but I didn't know 3 times, if that's what you're talking about. Right, Nick Franco. I'll take a ladyboy flight attendant over a large Marge and her hostile treatment on American Airlines. All right, yeah. It's a bit like that with British Airways. You know, it's kind of like, do you remember? I mean, I didn't go to public school, but you know, public schools always had a reputation for having a matron, didn't they? So whenever any of the boys at a public school, boarding school, had a problem, they'd go and see matron and tell matron all their problems. And I used to kind of feel like if there's any, I don't think there'll be any British Airways stewardesses watching this stream, but if they are, I'll apologise now. But yeah, it kind of reminded me of the school matron, you know. Yeah, less said about that, the better. Yeah, Javi said the same thing. Competition is a good laugh. I'll try and make it a bit easier for you. Right, what's Paul saying now? it's important for a girl to have strong arms. Okay. Right. Okay. I did mention you, Pierre. You said about a shout out. I mentioned you right at the beginning of the stream. I'll give you another shout out now. So hi to you, Pierre Glover. Made it back. How's it going, Pierre? I hope to stick around for the Cronenbergs. We'll have a blue moon to join. If you've just joined, I was just showing everybody this fake Cronenberg that I accidentally bought. So there's the real one that I drink, and there's a fake one I got from Aldi. You see, not very nice. Okay, right, Mark Hanley, thank you for that. I'll just get that up on screen. I'll get the Cronenbergs for next week. There we go. Yeah, if you've just come in, if you haven't seen that interview on Bangkok Pat's channel, go along and have a look at that. That's when Pat and I met up in Bangkok. I interviewed him. Well, he actually interviewed me as well, and we were talking about the old kind of Thailand, what it used to be like before it was, years and years ago. I don't know why I got so much stick on his stream. I mean, I got really a lot of abuse from people. Really strange. But thanks for that, Mark. Yeah, did I tell you about? I told you about the guy who went on Ed Sweeney's channel last week, didn't I? I told you at the beginning. If you've just joined us, you missed that. Some guy went on to. He actually registered as, because when you go onto YouTube, it's not like registering a URL like a website. So if you register a proper website, 123.com, nobody else can register 123.com. I doubt you'd get that name. That must be gone by now. But it's not like that with YouTube. If I called myself, I don't know. Thailand 123, 100 people could register Thailand 123, and that's what the guy did. He registered himself as Thailand bound. He stole my artwork, and he was going on to other YouTubers' channels, being really abusive, and it actually got me quite worried at one point, because I thought, blimey, people, because people come on here and they listen to me, and obviously there's guys who come back every week, so obviously I'm doing something right. I'm not offending anybody, but I don't even want to say what the guy was saying, but he was going on to other channels. And he was being really aggressively rude. And you look at it and think, geez. But like I say, a lot of people came back to me and said, look, we know that wasn't you because you don't talk like that. But even so, being I'm the guy who's got the channel, it did concern me a bit. But I reported it to YouTube. That's what you got to do. And, it was sorted out. But it's not just me. It's everybody. They just seem to come out the woodwork this week. Like I say, Ed had 3 of them on Monday. He was he was saying something about his mum's, in their mum's basement or something. I don't know. Okay, so Pierre, so you got that shout out there. There you go. Look, got it again, right? Okay. Right. Okay, Roger, you're talking about the whole crew, including the pilots. No, not the pilots, Roger. I should have been clear on that. So that airline, they're called Smile or something like that. I can't remember. They've got orange uniforms, but when I say their whole crew, just the flight attendants, that's their gimmick. They have ladyboys, so the whole flight is ladyboys. But of course, the pilot and the navigator, so going back in there, a time warp there. The pilot and the co-pilot, obviously, they're well, I don't know. I would imagine they're men. I don't know too many ladyboys who fly aeroplanes. Is that what they're called? PC Airlines, is it? Not sure. Right, Dutch Frank. If you never try, you will never know. I don't know about that. I've never tried, and I don't really want to know, to be honest with you. I just you don't see. Well, I don't want to say anything because I'm going to get people come in and say I'm homophobic or something. Right. What's that? Right. Stephen, I much preferred the quick fire format too. Quick quiz. Yeah. Okay. Is that the one tonight or the one with the 3 cards? Because it was quick tonight, wasn't it? It was through with the music. The girl number 6. The girl on the left on 6, funny looking girl. Yeah. Okay. Shane Field. Hey Peter, how do you know? None of the others are ladyboys. Did you check each one yourself? No, I didn't. How do I know? Because somebody sent me that. Do you know what? I'm not being big-headed here. How do I know? I can actually tell, honestly. When I look, I'm 99% sure. Somebody sent them to me, and they got them from. I can't really tell you. It's hard to explain. But I'm just looking at them myself. I'm pretty sure the rest of them weren't. I just can tell. Don't ask me now. You get me tongue-tied now. Right. Okay, Jam Johnny, keep the competition. Yeah, we'll do. Paul Hoskin, the number of times I've woken up next to a ladyboy. Paul, I'm getting worried about you, mate. Right, Mike Hunt, let's get away from the ladyboys subject now. We'll be talking about it all night. I met an American guy from Ohio there in December, his first visit. He could not believe that the ladyboys on Sukhumvit outside the Hyatt we're not girls. Risky for first timers. Do you think so? Do you think they really don't know? I told you that story, didn't I, from years ago? I'll tell it again really quick. But I was in Patty with a couple of friends, and one of the guys who was with us, it's 12 o'clock. This is when the bars used to set until 4 or 5 in the morning. 12 o'clock, he started yawning. He was like, oh, I've got jet lag. I'm going to go back to the hell. And we're like, really? It's 12 o'clock. We've just got here. You know, what? It's our first night. You know, let's make a night of it. He's like, no, I'm jet lagged. I'm going to have a good night's sleep. I'll go swimming in the morning, all this. All right. He went off. We forgot about it. Anyway, we came out of the Marina Disco about 3, 4 in the morning. Went and got a kebab or something. Walking along the beach road. Because it's nice, isn't it? 5 o'clock in the morning, walking along the beach road. And who do we see? But our old friend, hand in hand with one of these lady boys. And yeah, so, you know, he was into it and we didn't know. Right, Kevin. Hey, Pete, was going to retire. Okay, let's have some sensible questions now. We're not talking about lady boys anymore. Right. Hey, Pete, was going to retire to Thailand in January 2020, but COVID, etc. What's retirement visa rules now? So as far as the retirement visa, I mean, it's a long time since anybody spoke about the retirement visas, but they brought in all the new rules, didn't they? You have to have an income of, I think it was 60,000 baht. You had to show an income of 60,000 baht a month, or you had to have, was it 800,000? God, nobody's talked about it for a long time. But when they brought out these rules, you had to have 800,000 baht in a bank account that had to stay there. It was your money; they didn't touch it, but it had to stay there. So that you had to prove you got this money, or I think it was 60,000 baht. Guys, look, to be honest with you, let me say this in a roundabout way so you can guess what I'm saying. If you need a retirement visa, there's a lot of agents, straight agents in Pattaya and Bangkok. It isn't difficult to get a retirement visa if you can read between the lines, yeah. And they're straight visas. In fact, like I said to you last time, when I go out there to live, Simon and I are setting up a business where we're going to be providing. I'll have a work permit. I'll be on a work permit. That's something else. Somebody said to me. Let me say this first. So I'll be on a work permit. Simon's on a work permit. He's closing down his factory. We're going to set up a business where we're providing a service for people, because people did ask me. And one of the services we'll be offering is a retirement visa. So if you want, it will cost money. But if you want a retirement visa, you can get it yourself. You can go to immigration. You can fill in lots of Thai forms. You can put 800,000 baht in the bank or all that. You don't. When we do it for you, you won't need to do all that. You just give us your passport, pay for the fee. I can't tell you what it's going to cost you now. It's not going to be an arm and a leg, but it will save you a lot of hassle. We'll get it for you. It's all genuine. Simon's got agents that he's been using for years. In fact, I had my visa extended for 2 months when I was last there. And I'll tell you what happened to me. I didn't see the inside of an immigration office. What happened was somebody came to my hotel at 7 p.m. and at 10 a.m. in the morning, the hotel rang me and said, Kun Peter, your passport is ready. I went downstairs. I looked. I could have stayed there till the 15th of March. Now, to be fair, they gave me 2 months because of the pandemic. They were giving everybody 2 months instead of 1 month. They've now stopped that. So if you did that, I paid for it, obviously. But if you did it now, then you'd only get the 1 month, but it's still easy to get. There's agents to do everything in Thailand. You know, money talks, as they say there, and as long as you're paying, you'll get the service. You know, I don't want to queue up in immigration offices all day. My time can be better spent than that. I hope that answered your question, by the way, about the retirement visa. Paul, I was going to tell you something else as well. Somebody said to me, somebody wrote me an email last week. Do you remember when I said to you guys, I said, look, I'm going to retire in Thailand and I'm going to work. And somebody sent me this long email, like telling me I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, and I should think about things like I'd never been to Thailand. And he said, oh, you know, I'd actually said on the stream, I said, I'm retiring from work in the UK. I'm going to get a retirement visa and I'm going to do some work in Thailand. And he wrote to me, he said, oh, you should know you can't work on a retirement visa. And he come up with a big list of things, and normally I just delete it or ignore it. But you know what? It really got to me, and I thought, no, I'm going to explain each point. And I wrote to this guy and explained everything to him. So the only thing he could come back with was he said it was about the Lauder Air. Something I'd made a mistake with Lauder Air. You know, the Thailand's worst air disaster. I got the country wrong where it was from, and because he couldn't come back and say anything to me, he said, oh, it was the wrong country. A bit childish, really, but. I'm going to retire here, get a work permit over there. I'm going to get a retirement visa there and work, I'd get arrested. They're hot on that now. Okay, where's again? Patong seems to be okay. Got 5 nights booked at the Divina Spa Resort for $190 Australian, but all hotels around half price. There's some really good deals out there now. Michael, who was he was staying in a 5-star hotel. It wasn't around Sukhumvit. It was it was on the other side of the river, but he was paying $20 US dollars a night, and he's moved into another hotel now, which I could see on his camera. It's really nice. He's paying $10 US dollars a night for that, but that's a little bit out. So yeah, there's some excellent deals in hotels at the moment. Okay, Damien, have we read that one out? Yeah, we read that out already. I think get some of the later comments there. Right, I fly for me. Tyler, Kevin Tyler, I'm doing the same. Being advised to get the 60-day visa in your country, extend 30 days. Yeah, like I said before, if you, and it's quite fast, if you apply to the Thai embassy for a 2 months tourist visa, they'll give you one and you'll get your passport back real quick. And then when you get to Thailand, you can extend that for a further 30 days, because if you go to Thailand, you get 30 days on arrival, you can only extend it for another 30 days. So you get 2 months instead of 3 months. You know, you can do border hopping and stuff like that, but they're getting really hot on it now. You know, I mean, I've heard stories about guys who have gone in across the border, they've got a stamp, and when they've come back, it's not been accepted by some immigration. It's just not worth it anymore playing games, because, you know, going back years and years, you could do all that. You could go nip over to Cambodia, or you could, you know, you could play games and get around it, but not now. Not now. You know, you can pay an agent a fee and get it done like that, or you can do it yourself properly. But if you start playing games, and you know, they're really, Thailand's really hot on stuff now. It's not, you know, you won't get away with what you used to get away with. Dutch Frank, better get the 35 CL whiskey out. Not, I don't think I've got any tonight. No, it's just beer tonight, Dutch Frank. Okay. What else? Right. The Ralph, 2022 still travel choppy without any major flare-ups. I would look at 2023 being a better travel. Do you know what? I made a prediction to Damon the other day, and I kind of stuck my neck out a little bit. I kind of said I don't think it will take that long, because I think they're realizing now, you know, they're gonna look at what's going on in other countries, aren't they? And you know, the Thai people are hurting. You know, they're hurting. They need the tourism back, and you know, they're not sitting quietly, not just accepting everything anymore. I don't want to talk political, but the stuff going on that you and I might not necessarily know about, but I'd like to hope. What are we now? February? I don't think 2023. I mean, we're only in February, for Christ's sake. I'd like to think by May, June, July latest. Surely it can't go on to 2023, can it? All right. Right, Jonathan. Is it Jonathan? I don't know if I can pronounce your last name. I'll just say Jonathan. Laugh at life. I'm traveling to Thailand in April, and my friends have been scouting the nightlife, and it's hard to tell the difference between ladyboys out here, I swear. Well, one thing a lot of people picked up in Pattaya, that they say there's a lot more ladyboys in Pattaya now, and that's not the case. There's the same amount of ladyboys, but what you've got to remember is when you know, when this pandemic started, a lot of the girls who work in the bars, they've gone back to their villages because there was no money to be made. There were no tourists. I know it's starting to pick up a little bit now, but there was no money to be made. There's 25,000 girls, I believe, were working in Pattaya at the time, pre-pandemic. Now, when there's no tourists, they can't make any money. So all them girls have left because, you know, they've got children at home. You know, they can get regular jobs where they come from. They don't pay much, but they can get some money coming in. You know, they can do hair, nails, work in little shops and things. You know, but of course, when they got children, that's you know, no mother wants to be away from her child. And you know, when they're working in Pattaya, they get the odd day, the odd holiday where they can go up and see their family, their children. And of course, if there's a pandemic on, it's a perfect situation where they can go home and spend some good quality time with their children, because there's nothing to be had in Pattaya. So what happens is, of course, the lady boys, they don't have children. Obviously, they don't have anything like that. So as all the women kind of left the city, most of the women, say 90% of them, for instance, then the lady boys stayed put. So that way, it does look like there's a lot more lady boys in patchier than there was in the past, but it's not the case really. It's just that they didn't go anywhere; they're still there. So hence why it seems like there's a lot more. Okay. JB, British Airways cabin crew smelly musty. I don't know about the cabin crew being smelly and musty, but I've seen quite a shocking video on YouTube. Somebody was I wouldn't fly British Airways, especially if it was business class or first class. I've seen a YouTube video where somebody had booked first class and they were in a kind of pod first class, and this was British Airways, and they compared it to Singapore Airlines, which is like the best, you know, one of the best anyway, if it's not the best. And the British Airways one, you know, that he was showing you the air conditioning was leaking. There was kind of like mold somewhere. You know, I'm just telling you what I seen on another YouTube video, but yeah, not very good. Okay, still a lot of talk about ladyboys in there. Right, David, if you're a bit short on brass, would a ladyboy economic? No, not at all. If anything, they're more expensive. You know, JB, best place in Patty to drop the wife and kids off for 14 days, asking for a friend. All right. Matthew, welcome in the channel. Haven't seen you. I think you just come in, have you, Matthew? Right. Think because he found you in red light district. If he found you in Mahogany, all would be fine. Okay. Yeah. Is that for me, Matthew, or someone else? Yeah, I've already discussed that, Andy. I'm going to retire. I'm going to retire in the UK, and I'm going out to Thailand this year, hopefully, if everything goes my way. And I'm going to do a little bit of work out there. Of course, I've got the YouTube channel as well, haven't I? You know, a lot of these comments on Bangkok Pat's video today said I'm a sex pat and I only make videos about bars and girls and all that. You know, don't you? When I'm in Thailand, I kind of try and make a variety of videos. I did the bridge on the River Kwai. I did the Hellfire Pass. I did the Hua Hin, the Chatham. Yeah, the bars are a big part of it. I did cover them as well, but I don't only do the bars, and I'm certainly not a sex pat. Right, Joe Peer, okay. Right, Paul Scarth, is it? I think Pat's content is quite formal, structured, probably has quite a serious audience base. They probably just don't like seeing a newbie. No excuse for trolling somebody though. Yeah, I mean, Paul, you're right. That's what I actually said earlier on. You know, with Pat, he's quite a straight guy. I've met him in Bangkok. You know, I went and had some food with him. We got on very well. I interviewed him. He interviewed me, and his videos are. I'm subscribed to him because I actually do like his videos. I mean, they're kind of almost documentary style. But you are right, Paul, because what I said earlier was the kind of people that would be attracted to Pat's channel are people who are, you know, the history buff type, you know, the serious types, straight-laced types, and you know, that not most of them would, you know, a lot of them get offended when you talk about the go-go bars and things like that. Whereas on my channel, it's a lot more, you know what I do, don't you? It's kind of a little bit more broad. And I would imagine their sort of attitude is like, well, what the hell are you doing having this guy on here? Because, you know, we love your straight-laced videos and this guy's you know, talk about girly bars all the time. So you're right. That's probably what it is. It's just a completely different audience, because if it was me personally, you know, I wouldn't have anybody watching my videos, would I? They'd just say, you know, this channel sucks, and I wouldn't be doing it anymore. Yeah, it says Dutch Frank, YouTubers should have a color in the chat like mods, but there's only so many colors, isn't there? If you've got lots of people, do you mean for people leaving comments? Okay, let's have a look. You've done another one, Wes. Is that another one? When's Nat coming out? Yeah, let me talk about Nat, because a lot of people asking me. Right, let's put this one to bed now about Nat and Dave. So I'm sure you all know that you know the animations that I had on the channel, Nat and Dave, and then it was Nat and Jason, and they used to come out every week or every couple of weeks. Then it went to every month. I won't be having any more, unfortunately, and I really hate to tell you that. They were really good for the channel. They were really popular, a lot of hard work, but a lot of you know Simon. We did this channel together. It didn't really take off. Simon wanted to do YouTube with me. We made this new channel called Thailand Bound 2021. We took videos off here and put them on there, and it didn't really take off. I think we got something like 3,000 subscribers in total, and I think that disappointed Simon quite a lot. Simon, he doesn't like doing live streams. He doesn't like doing videos where he has to walk down the street holding a selfie, doing selfies. I don't mind all that actually, but he doesn't like it. He made it really clear. So the channel didn't work out with me and him, and we're the best of friends. He's probably my best friend. So he was making the Dave, and as part of his involvement in that new channel, I was doing what I do. And I said, okay, right, fine. You don't like doing live streams. You don't like doing selfies. What are you going to do? And he said, well, I'll make these animations, these Dave and Nat animation, Dave and Nat animations. They'll be really popular. And they were. People love them. And I'm sure I got a lot of people subscribed just to watch those animations. But the problem is, you know, Simon's got a business over there. He was having hassle with his business. And these animations take a long time to make. So I tried to, you know, they weren't regular, and it was kind of straining our relationship because, you know, this channel is kind of like my baby, isn't it? I've been doing it for 2 years. I want it to be successful. Everything I do on it, I try to make it successful. I kind of like try to ignore the trolls, which is very difficult sometimes. But, you know, I know how important those animations were, how good they were, because every time one came out on the channel, I had a spike in traffic and lots of nice feedback, you know, really nice feedback, which makes you feel good. Just like when trolls hit you, you feel like a bit, you know, oh, why did he say that? So you get somebody say, I loved it. When's the next one? It makes you feel good. It really does. I'm only human, right? And they were getting less and less, and I was nagging him. I was like, come on, Simon, you're promising me. And he was kind of like, well, yeah, this is the last time it'll be late. Next Saturday will be on, next month it'll be on time. And it wasn't on time, which pissed me off big time. But he's my friend, so I didn't want to fall out with him. And then it'd be like, yeah, this is definitely the last, next month it will be on time because this will be wrapped up. And of course it didn't come out. And then I started paying him as a kind of consultant. I said, look, I want these. Can you commit to one a month? Just give me one at the end of the month. The last Saturday of the month, yep, no problem, I'll do it. And of course they didn't come up. So it strained our relationships. And in the end, I didn't mention them. I thought I'll wait to see if he mentions them, because there's no point me going to him and say, please, please, please make the animations. Will it be ready? Because every time he told me they will be ready, they weren't ready. So it's pointless me asking. And in the end, like I say, it strained our friendship. And as much as I like the Dave and Nat animations, I can't get them made. I can't use the software. Yeah, I've tried. I can't do it. I don't have a Thai girl to do the voiceover. He's not making them for me now, and we've just kind of buried it now. We've decided to stay friends and not kind of talk about this anymore, because it was just constant arguments, and both of us are too long in the tooth now. So that was a long-winded explanation to say, no, unfortunately, Nat, she's on a merry way, and that's it. Unless somebody else decides to take over and do it, or I believe Simon might be starting his own channel. He wants to do, he told me he wants to do a channel only animations. That's all. Like, he won't do the Nat and Dave, but he'll do his own style of animations, kind of like whatever, you know, the ones these American ones you do. So he wants to make a channel just to do animation. So that'll be interesting. I'll let you know where that is if that comes out. So yeah, it's a shame, really, Wes. It really is, because it was so, they were so good, but I can't make them, you know. All right, Michael Gallagher. Peter, small-minded people, if someone has a problem with your content, do not watch it. Simple. Phuket for me on Monday. I'm going enjoy myself, go for a month. Yeah, Michael, I'm envious, mate, because I just come back from there, and it's like, you know, I was all kind of, the belly was in knots before I went out there. I was very nervous, but of course I had a great time out there. I know I got positive, and I was isolating for a week, but I still had a good time out there. You know, I visited old friends, I visited old haunts. You know, I got to do some road trips with Simon, and I miss it. You know, it's cold here. There's nothing to do. It's boring. So I'm envious of you, Michael. As far as your comment about the trolls, you can't win with them. I used to try. You know, some guy will write something like the guy today. He wrote, "Oh, well, you know, your first night, as soon as you got the negative test, you went straight to the bars in Nana." Well, yeah, why wouldn't I? Yeah, why not? You know, but if I in the old days, I would have wrote back to them and given them a big explanation. And you can't win with these people. They'll just come back with something stupid. And what's funny about that guy, he's been on this stream several times, and he's actually left me super chats. And today he was criticizing me on Bangkok Pat's channel, and I've always given him the benefit of the doubt. I've always said he's an okay guy, but you know what? I've blocked him today. I don't want to have nothing to do with him anymore, and he won't be leaving any more comments on there. So he can go and sort of moan at somebody else, as it were. Right, Mark. Some bloggers really don't know how they survive in Thailand with absolute crap content. I don't think they're, Mark, I don't think they're surviving by their YouTube channels. I mean, I couldn't go out to Thailand and survive on this channel. I don't make enough money. I've got, you know, when I was younger, I worked really hard and I made some investments. I'm not rich, but I got a little bit of money coming from there, a little bit more coming from there, maybe a little bit from YouTube. I mean, if I was rich, I wouldn't be going to start a business with Simon when I get out there, you know, like a services business. So I don't think those guys are kind of out there surviving on YouTube channels. I think what they do, I know one guy, he's ex-military, he gets a pension. A lot of guys get pensions from their governments, or they work for their company for 30 years and they've got a private pension, plus they've got a pension from the state. So they survive on that. And the YouTube, you know, they haven't got anything to do. And they're like, well, I'll make a YouTube channel. And, you know, some of them are better than others. There is a lot of crap ones about, and there's a few good ones about, isn't there? But, you know, there's no way I would go out to Thailand and say, right, well, you know, I'm making my living from Thailand. And that's the only place I get money from. Because if YouTube pull the plug, and they've done it to several people, and you don't know why. The thing about YouTube is you can't actually send them an email and say, why have you pulled my channel? You just won't get an answer. So, you know, they do. It's a funny Google. It's a funny setup, you know, and one day somebody can be watching your videos and think, you know what, we don't like this on YouTube, and they just pull the plug on you. So, yeah, anybody who's in Thailand, living in Thailand, I would imagine that they've got several revenue sources coming in. Like I say, I couldn't survive on YouTube money. YouTube money for me, it's like a little bit extra. You know, it's nice to get it, but it's not survive. It's not, you can't say, right, well, here's my bills, this will pay for that, that will pay for that, and I'll pay for this with YouTube money. You couldn't rely on it like that. When it comes in, it's nice, but it's not, you know, it's not you wouldn't rely on it. Okay. YouTube, good name. YouTube killed the radio star, the Buggles. I don't know if you know this, but that was a very, very first video that was ever shown on MTV. So Buggles video killed the radio star. First one, little bit of trivia for you there. Right. I am better sticking with Big Bertha here in Winsford, Cheshire, or flying out to Thailand tomorrow and finding myself. Yeah. Put Big Bertha on hold for a few weeks, get the ticket and just get out there. That's what I'd say. Right. Jace Reed. Hi, Peter. Hope you're well. Yeah, thanks, Jace. I'm well. Thanks. Mick Man, when the Thai government stop treating people like sheep with wallets, I might consider going. Yeah, a lot of people saying sort of similar things. Right, let's have another Cronenberg. Oh, been going for 1 hour 42 minutes now. Hi, if you've just joined us. We did have 500, and at one point it's gone down a little bit now. I suppose really there are people who work on a Saturday, isn't there? I don't work at the weekends. Luckily, I'm lucky like that. I promised the wife I'll do some housekeeping for her tomorrow. Get the old vacuum cleaner out. All exciting stuff. Little bit of Sprite on the top there, just to take the edge off it. Okay. Well, you probably wonder why I'm bending down here all the time. I got one of these space heaters and I just can't get it right. It's either so hot I start to sweat, and then I'll turn it off, and after 15 minutes I start getting cold. So I'm like on, off, on, off. Okay. Dutch Frank, don't get the series between your friendship. It isn't worth it. No, absolutely. And the thing is, you know, if I'm going out there to live, I mean, I could go out to Thailand on my own and survive. I can get a visa. That's not an issue. I couldn't get there's certain things I couldn't do, but you know, Simon lives out there. He's been out there for about 12 years now. He's got a Thai wife. He's got a mortgaged house out there. He's got contacts. It's good for me to have a friend like that in Bangkok. You know, if something happened to me, I've got somebody who'll reach out. You know, if something happened to me, he's my best friend. He would help out. You know, if I ended up in jail, for instance, he might not be able to get me out, but he'd certainly bring me down a bag of food, right? So, yeah, I don't want to fall out with him, not because he can do things for me, but I met Simon in 1991 in the Novotel. When I was introduced to him, I looked at him, I thought, he's a kid. He was about 20, but he looked really young. I mean, when's that, 1991? I mean, 31 years I've known the guy. You know, I met him in Thailand. So, yeah, I really don't want to fall out with him, and he doesn't want to fall out with me as well. I've done him a lot of favors as well, and he knows that. Right. Okay, Taxi Talal. Simon was great on the live streams. Yeah, well, when you've got two people, you bounce off each other, don't you? If it's just me on my own, I'm talking, I'm feeding off the comments. It can get boring for people, but when you've got two people and you bounce off each other, it's more fun. Do you remember the live stream I did with Ed Sweeney? that went on for nearly 5 hours. But Ed's got a similar character to mine, and we both like a drink, so that kind of just naturally went on for nearly 5 hours. I remember Trevor from Buzzin' Patry. He came on at about half an hour into the stream and made a comment, and he went off, and I don't know what he did, but he came back 4.5 hours later. He said, "You guys still at it?" I don't think he could believe it. Andy K, tell Nick Dean his oat cakes won't be long. Don't know what you mean by that. Tom Young Gung, folks, just imagine that when Peter is reading the stories. All right, yeah. Well, she's a typical stereotype bar girl, isn't she? Right, how do you say that? Gola, if you are scouting for Thai love and surprised you found a ladyboy, then may I suggest your goggles are misted? Yeah. Herman Schmidt again. Well, try Rumble. Then, do you know? It's funny you should say that, because I'm actually already on to Rumble, because I know who was it? Michael put me on to Rumble, and Rumble are kind of like a similar kind of setup to YouTube, but they're not so restrictive. And I have watched, there's a couple of real big YouTubers. A guy I was watching today, he's got 500,000 subscribers. He does interviews. That's all he does, interviews. Forget his name. Very popular guy. But what a lot of these guys will do, they'll do YouTube videos. They'll make YouTube videos, and they say, right, what I want to talk about now, guys, is too controversial. YouTube won't allow it. Come over to my Rumble channel and watch the rest of the stream, or look at the rest of the video. They move over to Rumble, which I hadn't heard of, and then they can say whatever they want, and Rumble are not restrictive at all. So that's something I am looking at. The only thing that's kind of put me off Rumble at the moment is because I don't know what sort of numbers they do, because to set up a channel, a YouTube channel like I've got with nearly 300 videos, and have to transfer it all over, not transfer it, but duplicate what I've got on a brand new platform, is going to be a lot of work. And I don't want to do that unless it's going to reward me. I'm not going to do all that work for months for nothing. So I need to look into Rumble a little bit more. Somebody suggested that I also put my videos up on Daily Motion. So I thought that's not a bad idea. And I registered an account. This is Christ, I haven't turned this off. I've turned it on full. Blimey, no wonder I'm hot. I thought I turned it off, it's on full. Yeah, somebody suggested Daily Motion. So I thought, yeah, I'll stick a couple on there, just see what happens. And I registered an account, and I put the Bridge on the River Kwai one up there, and I got a message at the end of it, this video's too long. So I gave up on that. Right, I'm the ladyboy expert now. Everybody's asking me about this. Would it be okay to bring a ladyboy back home if the ladyboy was really good, convincing? What you mean, back to your home country or back to your hotel? I don't think you want to bring one back to your home country, would you? Yeah, so Joe Dirt, you guys could sell the current Nat series, a full-length movie. Well, I've got 12 episodes of the Nat and Dave in the on the channel. Now I can download them, put them together as one big story. But I'm not a marketing guy. I wouldn't know how to sell it. I wouldn't know how to go about it. I mean, they're good, and they belong to me. So they're there. If anybody can think of a way they can help me to do something with them, then I'm all ears. Right, someone's put there, Shane Field, don't get a pretty Thai girl, 100% guaranteed trouble. I think what you mean there, Shane, is the better looking they are, the more problems you're going to have. Right, JB, could do a new ladyboy, Nat and Dave, could call it Dave and Dave. I like that, actually. I like that. That's a good idea. But I can't do them. Like I said to you, that was Simon's baby. And I'm 62. I do everything myself on this channel, and some things are just a little bit too technical for me. Right. I don't believe that's a real Ed Sweeney, right? This looks like a troll here. So that's not Ed Sweeney's picture that he has. He has a picture of a monkey, right? But you know what? This guy, he's an imposter. So he'll probably leave a few more comments in here tonight. Franco, you've missed this one, mate. This isn't Ed Sweeney, because he wouldn't leave a message like this. And that isn't Ed Sweeney's picture. So ignore him. He's another idiot. Just get rid of him. Right. Michael Gallagher, I've got extra insurance, Peter, and it covers me for every event doing the sandbox, and it will take it easy until after day 5. Bars are not my priority. Bit of nice will be a good start. Yeah, each to his own, Michael. Each to his own. I mean, some people like the bars. I like the bars, but it's not all I go to Thailand for. But if you're not into the bars, that's fair enough. That last guy who was on here, the troll that just came in who was impersonating Ed Sweeney, he did the exact same thing on Ed Sweeney's channel. So he made out like he was Thailand bound, and he went on to Ed Sweeney. He was saying things like, "Oh, stop eating pork pies, you're getting too big," and stuff like that. And I don't know if he's trying to cause a rift between me and Ed Sweeney, but you can see through these people. You know what I mean? They're not very intelligent, are they? You know, if they're intelligent, they'd get away with it, but they're just not intelligent, so they don't get away with it. Just not worth talking about, actually. Right, Roger. Yeah, okay. Right, Wes. You're about right. Sunday night in Shah Hotel near Phuket Airport, then to mainland and back. Yeah, you'll be all right. You'll be all right for one night. Right. Tom Young guy. They pulled Phil in Bangkok, an early vlogger. No explanation. Phil, I don't know him. Phil, what's his what was his channel called? Phil. Yeah, I don't know. I probably do know him, but if you tell me the name of his okay, I wonder if that's the real Patia Pariah there. He's I like his he hasn't put videos up for a long time. Let me just find him on here so I can put it up. If it is really you, Patia Pariah, I've mentioned you a lot of times on these streams because I think your videos are really good, very, very good. And I can't find you on here. I've just seen you on the other screen. I'm gonna give me a minute, guys. I just want to see if I can find this guy, and I'll tell you about him. You must have heard of him. Drop me another message. Drop me. I'll put the comments right to new comments, and just say hi again if it is you. So Patia Pariah, he's a guy. He's a self-confessed monger. He makes some really great videos in Thailand, in Pattaya. He hasn't put anything up for about a year because he hasn't been going out there, but. He says in his videos straight off, he says, you know, I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I am a monger, and that's it. And he's had some really good videos up. I've watched them all. Okay, let's see. Tom Young got it. Okay, so you're saying it was called Phil in Bangkok, and he did vids with shaky cam style starting in 2010. Yeah, I really don't know him. I don't know him. Right, what have I got on the screen? Oh, it's from this one here. Let me get rid of these. I know that guy in Pattaya, what was his name? Cheap Charlie Chronicles. They pulled him, didn't they? But, you know, every time he went into his apartment and opened the door, he had a load of scantily clad girls laying across sofas and things. I don't know if that was the reason. Right. Yeah. Kiev bound. Yeah, they are. I agree with that. Right. Someone's calls himself Hua Hin here. So you were married for 29 years and understand how Thai ladies are. I don't know who that's directed at. I've never had a Thai girlfriend in my life or a Thai wife. My wife is from South Korea and I've been married to her for 31 years. But we're probably going to be parting, going on our separate ways this year. Nothing nasty, nothing ugly. We've just we need our own space now. She wants to go back to Korea. I want to go to Thailand. We'll remain the best of friends. Our kids have grown up. I'll let you know how that goes, guys, later on. Right, Davey boy, singlets, shorts and flip-flops, no mask, sitting on beach on the lovely Gold Coast, listening to your stream. Perfect morning. Oh, that's nasty. He's rubbing salt into our wounds now, guys. If you're in the UK, it's dark, it's cold, it's icy, and he's on the beach. That's really salt in our wounds, isn't it? Anyway, good on you. Right, YouTuber killed the registrar 1978. 11 in the chat. Any chance of buying a better webcam? Can't make your face out. It's not the webcam. It's this software. What it is, if I did this stream directly through YouTube, the reason I don't do it directly through YouTube is because, you know, you see your comments up on screen. You've got a nice background of Pattaya in the background there. You can't do that. If you just do it on YouTube, it'll just show me with a green screen. That's it. But the quality is a lot better than this. The reason the quality is not great is because I have to pay for this software. It's quite expensive. Now they have different levels. So this one, it only gives me, it doesn't give me a quality of 1080. It gives me the 780, the quality. So the difference between the 780 quality and the 1080 quality, believe it or not, is $400 US. So for me to have the HD, I would have to pay an extra $400 a year. I'm not prepared to do it because I hear what you're saying, but this is good enough. People can hear me. I can put comments on screen. I can put backgrounds up, and it saves me $400. So I don't know why you can't see my face. You can go look at one of the videos I made. They come up really clear on my phone. But talking of patia, I've got something else to show you. You might have seen this on one of my. This was on a video. One of the 2 weeks ago. The video, but it's a picture of Pattaya from 1968, Pattaya Beach Road. And if you haven't seen this, it's amazing. You watch, you won't be able to find it now. Well, it's worth me going to look for it. Oh no, there it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah, so that's the Beach Road look in 1968. It's amazing, isn't it? When you think what's there now. But yeah, just a little fishing village, and that was taken. There was a guy in the U.S. Army who sent in a story. I read it out. It was a very short story, but he sent me about half a dozen images like this, 2 of Pattaya, and the rest were kind of like Chiang Mai and the Sukhumvit Road when it was just a one lane each way. And he actually took these, or his friend took these pictures on a camera. Obviously, there was no smartphones, mobile phones back then, so it was taken on a little Kodak camera, and he just happened to have them, and he scanned them in for me. But that is an amazing picture. You know, I mean, you know what's there now. Not a freelancer in sight by the look of it. Okay, let's get rid of that. We'll have it. Yeah, we'll have that one up. Give us a bit of atmosphere. Right, what's this? Right, young Wookie, I'll sort you out a cracked copy, mate. I don't know what that means, but you're obviously you're Korean, are you? Yeah, Wook, that's a Korean name, isn't it? Is that Korean writing? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's Korean, is it? Or is it? Yeah, I think so, or Chinese. I'll sort you out a cracked copy, mate. I don't know what that means, honestly. That could be you're offering to do something for me, or you could be threatening to knock me out. I don't know what it is, but hopefully it's the latter. Right, Jam Jar Johnny, thank you, mate. That's a pleasure. I had lots of your comments tonight. Thanks for that. $8.99. I know it's probably slightly more than that. YouTube take their cut, don't they? But thanks for that, Jam Jar John. I appreciate that. Nearly 2 hours now. Just say hi to a few other people before we go. Right, Stephen, worried for you when you return unmoored. Some strange cryptic messages coming in tonight. Tommy, I'm going again. Lots of comments from you. Thanks for explanation on the technical side of YouTubing. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let me just see. Let me get that one up because that was a good question. Can't find it. No, there it is. There it is. Right. David Boy said, what's the freelancer scene like in Hua Hin? It's the same as it is everywhere, really. I mean, they're everywhere, aren't they? It's there's a lot of good bars in Hua Hin. They don't have any go-go bars because the city's it's not quite like that, but there's a lot of good bar areas. You've got Binta Bar. I'm talking pre-pandemic, but yeah, there's freelancers. They're everywhere, isn't there? Any town where there's bars, there's freelancers as well. Okay. Chugsy says, right, he will give you a pirated version, cracked copy of the streaming app you are using, not a threat. Okay, I got you. So what you're saying, you've got a cracked version of this, but it's the higher version that'll get, because this camera will do HD. There's nothing wrong with the camera. If you look at my well, no, they're made on my phone, aren't they? This camera will do 1080, but it's restricted by this software. But the reason I use this software is because there's so much you can do with it, like the tickers I run across the screen, the background pictures. Damon, a generous man. What does that say? Right, Damon, a little towards a kebab and fries for you and Franco. Great job tonight, Franco. Great stream, Peter, as always. Early start tomorrow as a scrapyard. All the best. Yeah, thanks, Damon. Actually, it's funny you should say that because I was thinking, well, I'm not going to pay Franco anything because I can't afford it. So I thought we always go for a kebab on a Sunday with another guy, and I thought I'll get Franco his kebab this week. That's his pay this week. I'll get you kebab, Franco. But he does eat a lot, Franco. He ate half of mine last Sunday, so I'm a bit nervous about that. But thanks, Damien. I'll give you a shout tomorrow. Yeah. Right. There's that name again. Young Wookie. Have you been to Hanoi or China? I'm moving to one. I need help choosing. Do you know, I've never been to Hanoi. I've never been to Vietnam, but I spent a long time in China. I was in Beijing the day they opened the first McDonald's in China. I think it was 89. No, it was 91, was it? Anyway, I spent a year in a place called Dalian, which is a fishing port. It wasn't my favorite country, to be honest with you. I'll just say that. No, I'll leave it at that. But if I had to guess, I would say Vietnam would be a better choice. That's what I would guess. Um, yeah, if I had to guess blindly, I've been to China, I haven't been to Vietnam. I think I would choose Vietnam over China. I just think it'd be more my style, as it were. Jam Jar Jimmy, keep going, Peter, keep going. We're all loving the chat. Yeah, I can't, Jam Jar Johnny. I've got to take my daughter to work in the morning. Also, I've got to let Franco go to bed. He needs his beauty sleep. You know, Franco actually had a heart attack a week ago, so he's still not 100%. He's a lot better, but you know, I told him 2 hours, so I don't want to take the mickey, as it were. But thanks for your support. Oh, okay. So thanks, Pete. My friend Michael and I sent us a photo. Yeah, I absolutely. I know who you are. You sent me another picture up on the mountain with that sign, and I actually took that picture. I said to my wife, I said, "What does this sign say?" And she explained it to me. But I did wonder about you guys, because it was a real long time ago that we had communication with each other. And it's funny. I thought a couple of weeks ago, I thought, I wonder if they still watch my channel. They're young guys. They're probably bored and gone off now. So good to hear from you again. I absolutely do remember you. And that was a great, little tribute you did to me. I still remember it. I've still got it. Okay. I think we're there, guys. I think that's about it. Right. Guys, thanks for all the super chats. For guys who give me the super chats, thanks for joining me tonight. It's been another good stream. Thanks to Franco for moderating for me. And guys, I know it's cold in the UK, but wherever you are, have a brilliant weekend. Where's Apple? Another $5. Thank you. I'm not going to go yet. I'm going to say thank you. Don't know if I can make the live stream for the next. No, of course not. Do you know what, Wes? Just before I go, for me, it was so important, like, because I do 9 p.m. every Friday. It was so important because I was in Thailand for 5 weeks. I thought I've got to do 9 p.m. Friday for the UK guys, because otherwise you just lose traction. And do you know what? I had to set my alarm clock at 3 a.m. in the morning for about 2 or 3 weeks in Thailand. But you know what? The first week I was there, I had the biggest numbers I've ever had in a stream. I had just a gnat's hair just shy of 900 people in the stream. Can you imagine? 900. But yeah, thanks for that. But no, I don't blame you. You'll be sleeping. Your missus will crucify you if you did that. So guys, look, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me tonight. I'll try and do something with a Ladyboy competition next week to make it a little bit more easier. I didn't realize it was difficult again. And yeah, to everyone who's been here tonight, thanks a lot for being here. Now, just quickly before I go, tomorrow morning I've got 5 stories, because some of them are short, and I've cleared out some of the short ones. So I've got 5 stories, and on Sunday I've got a really interesting interview video that I'm uploading with an American woman who went to Pattaya with her husband, and it didn't end in a good way, guys. So I'm going to release. So the story's on Saturday, that video on Sunday, and I'll be back next Friday for another live stream. Thanks for everybody. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch up with you all soon.